Hello and welcome to Horror Movie Talk.
An opinionated and accidentally funny horror movie review show. Go, 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 go.
I just took a stroll through the scraggly woods. He had no face! Horror!
Sabrina, don't just stare at it, eat it.
New theatrical releases always get priority.
But we also review older horror movies, both good and horrible.
Wow, that didn't sound good. Hello and welcome to Horror Movie Talk. Hey, Bryce, you know, this is, I'm going to do things a little bit different.
What?
Yeah, I'm going to do things a little differently today. Hey, you know something that we don't talk about a lot on these shows that I think, you know what it is? My sexual preferences. All right? Now, it's not widely known, but I'll admit I'm an ass man.
Yeah.
You know? There's something about them sweet cheeks, you know? Just big, warm, fluffy, cushiony, pillowy, wonderful booty cheeks.
All right.
Just scraping up and down my nose. Just bang. Just up and down. Like, yeah. And you know what? I got to invite all of our fans to back their big old booties up to the Kiggins Theater. That's right. March 25th. We got The Exorcist.
You thought the ads were done.
We got The Exorcist for your sweet cheeks. And you just put them nice little mud puppies. You put them down in those nice, comfy Kiggins seats from the 1920s or something like that.
Ew, David.
And we treat you to a fucking exorcism. And a cult of horror. That's right. We're going to be doing live shows starting with The Exorcist on March 25th. That one comes with free popcorn, sponsored by StreamLounge.io, and a bunch of other cool sponsorships and a bunch of cool stuff by Bryce and myself. And who knows, maybe if you stick around after the show, I'll give those buns a little squeeze, and unless you don't want that, in which case I definitely won't do that. And I won't do that anyway. Because I don't know, but I respect you too much or something like that. Anywho, we have a great show for you here today. We're going to be reviewing Tucker and Dale versus Evil. That's right. You asked for it. And by you, I'm talking to our patrons. They were like, hey, can you finally do this movie? And we're like, we do anything you want, baby girl, because you pay us money and we're kind of sluts like that. So here we are. We're doing Tucker and Dale versus Evil. I'm David Day. Across from me sits
Bryce Hanson.
And he's a sexy sexual being who just needs love the way everyone does. What's your thing? Is you boobs man? Are you butt man? Or are you just like personality and face?
I like wrists.
You can check us out at our website at horrormovietalk.com. From there, you can find links to all of our stuff. We do second Saturday watch parties. Oh, no. That's what? Tonight.
Oh, that's tonight. Oh, shit.
Okay.
I almost picked one yesterday, and then I was doing something else. So
you're picking your nose instead. We post new episodes every Wednesday, so make sure to subscribe to us. Leave us a review. We've got some nice reviews. I think at the end of this show, I might read some of those nice reviews, and you know, just thank you all for saying nice stuff about us, because we appreciate you. If you want to get a hold of us, give us a call. 682-253-4468.
Should we do horror movie horrors?
No, there's not enough.
There's not?
There's not.
It's been weeks.
I know. They just stopped calling. They just stopped calling.
I guess one person stopped calling, and that's the majority of them.
Intrigue. Yeah, if you want to find out more about that, you should listen to our Afterpod for Studio 666. Sad things transpired. It was confusing. I was upset, but I'm over it.
We missed one of our most stalwart supporters, and you know,
via con Dios. All right. After we, so we'll start out this episode by giving a brief review and a score for our movie. This movie, we score on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being bad, 10 being good, 5 being average. And, once we give our score, we'll get into spoilers. Spoil the movie for you, unless you've seen it, which, you might have. And then we'll take a deeper dive into
And this is one of those that you do not want spoiled.
Right.
Like, if you haven't seen Tucker and Dale versus Evil, like, don't even, just go watch it.
Yeah.
I'd even press pause now and go watch it. Like, if you know zero about it, it's the best way to watch this movie.
It's a very fun movie, so you can't go wrong. I think both would put our seal of approval on this one for anybody, any old person, somebody who's into horror, somebody who's just into comedies, somebody who's into dramedies, any of you.
Yeah.
Later in this episode, we'll be discussing the recent changes to our podcast feed, commercials, and maybe reading a couple reviews. You may have noticed some stuff changed. There's now new ads where there weren't ads before. You're growing new ads in new places. And, all those sexual places, even up in them sexy, tight little buns. Oof.
You're feeling new sources of revenue streams.
I'm feeling so many revenue streams right now.
I got revenue streams coursing through my veins.
Oh, it feels like freedom. And, reading some reviews probably, if I remember. Okay, so, as I said, as we've been saying, we saw Tucker and Dale versus Evil, and it reminded me of how stupid college kids are. So without further ado, here is the trailer.
Oh, jeez. Whoa, Jesus.
Did you see the way those guys looked at us?
Who wants to go skinny dipping?
No.
We got your friend!
They captured Allison.
Oh, it's the pancakes. You hate pancakes. I'm gonna make you something else.
What am I doing here?
Fell into the water. Dove in and rescued you. We'll go find your friends. You should relax. Tucker and Dale are on the case.
What is this place? It's just a cabin. It doesn't mean they're psycho killers.
Then why don't you go in there and talk to them?
All right. Maybe I will. I said maybe.
Dale, what are you doing?
I'm taking a crapper hole.
You mind if I help?
He's making her dig her own grave.
There's no rules out here. It's us against them.
No! Oh, good. Look, your friends are here. You okay?
Saw your friend out there. He must be allergic to bees or something because he was running like a bat out of hell.
This is a suicide pact. These kids are coming out here and they're killing themselves all over the woods.
Oh, my God, that makes so much sense. The girl that we have, she can maybe explain the whole thing. You've got another one inside. Yeah, she's in my bedroom. Heads up. Oh, you gotta take the safety off on the side there.
Don't do
Start being more careful!
time to die, freak.
Fire! Stop, double rope!
No, don't use that.
Let's get you down from there.
Wait.
Sorry about that. This vacation sucks.
Well, that ruined the whole movie.
Yeah, it's almost like the people who made the movie weren't trusted to make a trailer for the movie that didn't divulge the very important points of the movie. It's almost like people who make trailers are very dumb.
Some of them are. Some know how to do it right.
Sure. They're the exception that proves the rule. So the synopsis for Tucker and Dale versus Evil is Tucker, played by Alan Tudyk, and Dale, played by Tyler Labine, are headed into the woods to fix up Tucker's new vacation cabin. It's going to be a weekend of fishing, fixing, and getting fucked up. A couple of guys just alone in the woods together. Nearby this cabin, a plethora of college kids are camping and partying it up. They meet the silly duo of Tucker and Dale and immediately are spooked by their hillbillyishness. Things come to a head one night when the college kids decide to go skinny dipping in the same lake that Tucker and Dale are night fishing in. An angelic woman named Allison, played by the angelic woman known as Katrina Bowden, falls off a rock and hits her head, and our goofy duo go to save her. As they do, they shout to the other college kids, "We've got your friend!" And that sets in motion the zaniest misunderstanding you've seen all summer long. Everyone gets more "don't judge a book by its cover" than they bargained for.
Yay!
Hooray! I tried not to give too much away here, but it's unavoidable. My review goes, directed by Eli Craig, Tucker and Dale vs. Evil was released in 2010 to only 33 theaters and eventually bumped that number up, those rookie numbers up to more rookie numbers, 44 theaters.
Wow.
Yeah. Despite this limited theatrical release, when it was released on Netflix, it was met with universal enjoyment, and everybody liked that. Tucker and Dale vs. Evil is a movie that takes the common horror movie structure of partying kids in the woods and inverts the classic protagonist-antagonist relationship. This inversion was a pretty unique thing, even in the somewhat oversaturated world of meta-horror. It was a new brand of winking at the audience, one where the audience feels empathy for both the good guy and the bad guy. Horrible things happen in this movie, but the only thing to blame is the breakdown in communication between the two groups, or an othering of the hillbillies by the college kids. So let that be a lesson to you fucking college kids.
Don't other hillbillies.
Don't other anybody except Putin. Maybe. The dry wit and laugh out loud moments in this movie are a ton of fun and often the result of totally shocking and unexpected misunderstandings or accidents. The characters are completely wonderful and easy to fall in love with. The problem I have with Tucker and Dale vs. Evil is because the whole premise is based on a misunderstanding, they had to manufacture an antagonist that feels a little goofy. Chad, which is a great antagonist name, played by Jesse Moss, is as one-dimensional a character as they come, and his motives aren't interesting or fun. To me, this leaves the movie feeling a bit hollow in the third act. It kind of meanders around a bad guy fight that we don't really care about, and leaves me wishing we had just ended with a nice therapy session in Act 2. The ending leaves a lot to be desired, but the impact that this movie had on general audiences can't be overstated. Can't be controlled. It's enjoyed by horror fans for its interesting take on an old premise, and it seems to be the logical predecessor to the more impressive movie that does the same thing but with less comedy and more scares, The Cabin in the Woods, which came out the following year in 2011. This is a different and more sophisticated kind of fun than Gremlins 2, but the result is the same. You laugh, you have a good time, you slap backs.
Where did Gremlins 2 come from?
I had to fit a link in there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
You just...
All right, David.
You just push it in. Yeah, the first time I watched this movie was way more enjoyable than the second two times I watched this movie because this is a first watch kind of movie.
Yeah, I think I can't. This was probably my third time watching it.
Yeah,
it's been long enough to where I could enjoy it again.
Okay, I give this a 7 out of 10. If you'd asked me after the first watch, I'd have been like 8, maybe 9. But I don't know. It's not bad. It's definitely if this is your first time watching it, you're going to be left impressed.
Yeah, I mean, I love this movie. I'm surprised that I thought you loved this movie too. How dare you?
How dare you? You are so delicate. 7 out of 10 is not bad. What is this for you?
Like I'm struggling whether I should give it a 10 or not.
Okay, give it. Let your heart decide, buddy.
No, I'd give this like a 9. It's so No, I'll give it an 8.
Whoa.
It's a high 8.
Wow.
Because
look at how much respect you have for me. I'm just able to pull down your whole score.
No, I mean, like, the one thing is, like, yeah, the ending is pretty... It drags it. Like, all the momentum kind of goes... Blah, 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 at the end. But it's a premise that you can only work, like, the amount of times that they made it work. And even then, it's like, okay. It gets more and more ridiculous to the point of, like...
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's what they should have done. Maybe they should have just 100% finished it.
Yeah.
The way they started it, as opposed to like shifting gears and making an antagonist to finish things off. But that being said, like this is a movie that, especially if you knew nothing about it going into, will be one of your favorite movie experiences ever.
Oh yeah, no. This first watch, this is a spectacular movie. It's and you're just going to be delighted. It's just because the characters are perfect. They're just perfect and very lovable, all of them. And
you can't undersell the comedic timing in this movie.
Right.
Like Alan Tudyk and Tyler Labine are like so fantastic and sell these lines perfectly.
Yeah.
You know, just the reactions that they have are what makes the movie.
No, I completely agree. And let's not sleep on Katrina Bowden, who single-handedly...
I would love to sleep on Katrina Bowden.
Don't sleep on her. You don't want to hurt her.
At least...
I don't want to hurt her.
Yeah.
I would
sleep
like
next to her after I was awake on top of her.
We understand sex. Okay, calm down.
Sorry, I'm turning into...
She's like a porcelain figurine. It's pretty absurd. Like, the fact that she wasn't like picked up to be the next Megan Fox shocks me to an insane degree. Like, she is... you just have people that you look at and you just go, well, that's fucking unfair. There it is. That's life in a nutshell. Unfairness. She is...
I think she's just a fantastic actress.
Well, I do too. She's a great actress. She's not in very much. Mm-hmm. I think now she's mostly in like shows and stuff, which, hey, it's a steady paycheck, I imagine. But I think she could be the next, dumb Michael Bay Transformer movie hot heartthrob lady that ends up, dating Machine Gun Kelly or something like that.
Yeah. Is Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly the modern day Billy Bob Thornton and Angelina Jolie?
Ooh, I thought you were going to go Tommy Lee and Pam.
That's close too.
It's I feel like yours is closer though. Something darker.
Yeah, there's something dirty.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is up with those two?
Well, it's really dirty with Tommy Lee too, but and Pam. But
did you finish Pam and Tommy?
I didn't watch it really. Like, I caught pieces of it as Carrie watched it.
Oh, that's such a good show.
Pretty crushing, the moments that I did watch.
Yeah.
Were like, oh man, real gut punches.
That is, I feel like that's almost an important movie as a
show.
An important show as a man our age that grew up around the release of
of Tommy Lee's dick in the Pam.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Where it's like yeah, it's just water. It's just around, and everyone's seen it.
There's so much innuendo going on right now.
And then you watch the show, and you're like, oh wow, these are human people that their entire lives were destroyed because of.
Oh no, I objectified another person to their detriment.
It's like, well, now my dick feels bad.
Not that bad. Funny story. My dick does feel bad. I injured my dick this week.
What?
Yeah. Here, take a look. Here, hang on. Wait.
You don't have to show me.
Just sit still. Just don't move. Okay, look. You see here my underwear.
Uh-huh.
And then here is my...
Oh,
it's my jock strap that I've been having to wear just to keep things intact, really. I mean, it's a mess.
Did you break your dick like Johnny Knoxville?
Something happened. I'm not a doctor, but I do feel pain.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tune into the Afterpod,
Yeah.
where we'll break down what happens to David's dick.
What happened to David's dick? And why is he in such a manic state?
It'd be great if this came out after Kagan's. You're like, yeah, too much ass backed up.
No cap, though, really do love booties. You know, get them sweet little mud puppies into those Kiggin seats, and then I'll just, you can line up.
Ew,
you know
David.
what they do in cults? They run you the river. They run the river on you. Get those paddles out. Pop, 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 pop. Yeah. Kiggin's Cult of Horror, downtown Vancouver or Vancouver, Washington.
Plugs.
More plugs. Hey, did you guys know that our favorite sponsor ever is sponsoring this show right now? That's right. Shudder.com.
Wow.
That's SHUDDER.com. They're the Netflix of horror movies, and Bryce,
we love them.
I love Shudder. Unapologetically, I will not apologize for my love of Shudder because they have tons of streaming horror movies and shows and originals and series and docs and all kinds of great stuff. And they're just so loyal to the show over the years. And I don't see that changing anytime soon. They're the best. So head on over there. Sign up on Shudder.com, and you know what? You don't even have to commit with your money. If you enter code HMT at checkout, you get 30 days free trial to just soak in all the terror and scream your way to the savings with the code HMT at checkout. That does get you 30 free days. So support the people that support us.
I love Shudder.
I love fucking. Oh. If you are listening to these commercials, you should know you don't have to. You don't have to. Now there's more commercials. It's a little bit more annoying, but two things. Those commercials pay us, and that's great. That makes it so that we can make a bigger, better podcast for you and get ass implants of our own to, impress people with and cushion our booties when we're sitting on all that sponsorship money from Shudder. So you can get the ad-free version of our show by going to patreon.com/horrormovietalk, signing up for the $6.66 tier. The devil made us do that one, but there's tons of tiers to cater to your level of patronage and give you tons of great shit.
Imagine if every person that listened to every episode of Horror Movie Talk paid the, $6.66 a month.
Bryce, that's how I hurt my dick, was imagining it.
It just went so hard.
I was just like, oh, they're all paying me.
Just a grip, just like a vice grip all of a sudden.
And then like a vein popped, and I was like, oh, but it was still good. So yeah, just support us over on Patreon. Get no ads in your shows. If you want to rep our brand, then you can head on over to horrormovietalk.com/shop. And you can buy our logo tees. You can buy some stickers. You can buy some coasters or all kinds of crazy crap. Yeah, just buy it.
If we actually cared, we'd put more stuff on there.
And if we did, it would be all stuff drawn by our resident artist, Dustin Goebel. He's a good man, a family man, an artistic man, a neurodivergent man who fucks very hard. And he also takes commissions for artwork from HMT fans. So contact him at dgoebel00. That's at DGOEBEL00 on Instagram. Make your artistic dreams come true and tell him we sent you. Please give us a call if you want to talk about things. Give us a call. Leave us a voicemail at 682-253-4468. Again, that's 682-253-4468. Leave us a voicemail. Tell us what you think about my booty fetish. Thanks again for listening, and let's get into spoilers.
No, David. Honestly, David, it's like a witch's house in here, David.
What was it like the first time you watched Tucker and Dale versus Evil?
I can't remember the circumstance. I think, like, what's crazy is I watched it with Erin. She never watches horror movies.
Man, I bet she loved it.
There was some... I don't know if we, like, just randomly decided. That doesn't seem like that would make sense. I think one of us probably had someone recommend it to us. But, yeah, I watched it, and it was so great.
Delightful.
It was so funny. Because...
unexpected.
You don't have to see that many, like...
slashers,
Friday the 13th movies to understand the premise of a slasher, which is like
a cabin in the woods style movie.
Hillbillies, are scary. I've seen Deliverance.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much, the setups there where it's like, college kids. College kids in every movie are the innocents. Like, they're the good guys, always. And they always get picked on. Because they're educated, promising young adults.
And then you make them squeal like a pig. Mm-hmm. Squeal like a pig, Bryce.
No.
Oh, I was really hoping you would. Well, how...
Are you threatening to rape me right now?
Squeal. I said squeal. Show me them buns. Yeah,
that was me not doing yes and.
And it just threw the whole thing out of whack.
Right.
Yeah, the first time watching this movie, I was delighted because you sit down, you take a bet. Every time you sit down and watch an unknown movie, you're just taking a bet that you're gonna have a good time, and this was a bet that paid off in spades, especially that first time. You're greeted with kind of ominous Tucker and Dale driving up, driving to,
It rides that line so well because in a movie with the right background music, like someone giving you a vacant stare is the most intimidating thing in the world. But really just if you're on the road and just saw some chubby dude just kind of vacantly looking out his side window at you, you wouldn't think about it.
If a man of your size was just looking at me vacantly through a window, and it happens, I'm not going to lie, it happens in this room a decent amount. It's off-putting. Anybody's going to be like, well, he's much bigger than me and could probably hurt me in ways I can't imagine. But I will anyway. And then, because he's got butt cheeks. All cheeked up.
I'll back him right up into your nostrils.
But pretty quickly we're given a look into both parties, right? You get to see Tucker and Dale, the quote unquote bad guys, and you get to see college kids, the quote unquote good guys.
Takes a while for the Tucker and Dale to be really revealed as the leads.
Yeah, the college kids, it starts out being like, yeah, we're leaning on these college kids, and it's going to be fun. And look, there's tits, and here they are.
And the intro of the movie is the setup of some horrible tragedy happening in the woods like 20 years ago, that college kids were murdered by an insane serial killer.
Well, that comes once, the kids have passed the gas station and are at their campsite and are like sitting around a campfire, and Chad starts telling the story of like, oh, bad stuff has come to other kids 20 years ago who were in these same woods at the same lake doing the same things, and the very standard setup. But
I thought it was in the beginning credits for some reason.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. It starts with
there's some flashback that happens because it sets up the sheriff stopping Tucker and Dale, and it's like, shit's not safe in these woods.
Yeah, that sheriff is real down on these woods.
Yeah. So, I mean, the setup is like, the woods are dangerous. There's supposedly some serial killers out there that prey on college kids.
Yeah. And so, everybody's been warned about it, including Tucker and Dale. And as it turns out, but I do want to focus on this gas station a little bit. At the start, this is where the college kids meet Tucker and Dale. And
Tucker's at the counter.
Bowden, is it Katrina or...
I don't know.
Katrina
and the Waves?
Bowden, our angelic lovely girl, she picks up a can of bug spray, and she's like, do we need more bug spray? And through the cans of bug spray, as she picks it up, there's Dale looking at her just like... As you do, as I've done many times to virtually every girl I see.
Jesus.
And he's just, and so whoa, and she's properly freaked out, and this is kind of the start of the college kids and Tucker and Dale's relationship of like this weird protagonist antagonist. Everybody thinks they're the good guy because everybody just believes they're the good guy.
Yeah.
But others are bad.
Yeah.
And I really like that part. Then, we get to, college kids get to their camp.
Well, before that, there's one of the greatest moments where the reveal of who Tucker and Dale really are, which is just two regular dudes. And and Tucker is like trying to talk up Dale to go talk to these college girls because he's smitten with them. He's like what? Why not just go talk to them? They're just people. And Dale's like,
you kids love to laugh.
It's the most unhinged laugh, and for some reason decides to walk over with a gigantic scythe.
Yeah, it's like
the specter of death.
Yeah. Hey guys. Hey. Hi. Hello. Hi. Whew.
Yeah. And that's like every moment where they interact and there's misunderstanding is great because it's just right on the line.
Yeah.
Of like, you could see how Tucker and Dale are just being kind of dumb with how they're wording things.
Yeah.
And being obviously misunderstood by the college kids. We got your friend!
Yeah, so Tucker and Dale make it to their cabin. This is Tucker's cabin. He bought it. He's excited because it's right off a lake and he loves to fish. And so, but he's got it's a fixer-upper, right? So this is their weekend, Tucker and Dale's weekend, to head out, drink some beers, fix up the cabin, go fishing a little bit, and, just get acquainted with the outdoors. And they walk into the cabin and it's kind of
like the prototypical
Evil Dead cabin
with random animal parts and rusty farm tools hanging from the ceiling.
But not just that. We have newspaper clippings of the serial killer who lived here prior.
Right.
And these guys don't notice. They're just,
hey, there's a coupon right here.
Just dumb guys, yeah.
No expiration date.
Just well, okay, let's get to work. And, completely ignoring the obvious, terrible history of this place, why he got it for such a steal, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so, they begin work, and there's a couple setups for, things that'll happen later in the movie.
Yeah.
And it's all a bunch of callbacky, fun, comedy stuff. That's, I said something last episode in the Studio 666 review, which was I kind of made a differentiation between comedy horror and horror, right? And there is a differentiation, to be fair. Horror movies are not funny, typically. Comedy horror movies are funny. And a lot of comedy horror movies are literally just comedies about horror. Well, this one actually is a little bit of the exception that proves the rule. This one manages to fit in so many good elements of horror movies in funny ways that I think it actually straddles that line. It is not a comedy movie like Scary Movie, and it is not a horror movie like, Midsommar or The Witch or Friday the 13th even. It's both. This is properly both, because the things that happen are horrible, scary, bad things, but they're presented in a in a kind of ambivalent way.
Right.
And this is a great, like, and Cabin in the Woods took this kind of like prototype and just made it more scary and less funny. So it's kind of like the opposite of this. This is the very, very funny Cabin in the Woods movie.
I don't know. I thought Cabin in the Woods was funny.
It was funny, but it's not funny like this. It's not knee-slapping good time all the way through.
Right.
There's lots and lots of parts that are really, really scary and meant to be that way.
Right.
And, yeah, anyway. I don't know. What's your take on any of that?
It's good. No, I mean, like, when I think of comedy horror, like, I actually find it hard to think of a movie that's just comedy about horror. I mean, Scary Movie would be the obvious one, but like, I think about this, I think about Cabin in the Woods. I mean, even like Evil Dead 2 would almost be in there too.
Yeah, no,
like
for sure.
There's like,
that's why Evil Dead 2 is
horror movies that lean into comedy, and
there's not a lot.
So I don't know. I mean, yeah, there's not a lot, but like, this moment in the teens was a big moment for comedy horror. You know,
because like, I mean, yeah, I think we've listed like the big ones, right? Tucker and Dale, Cabin in the Woods, Evil Dead 2. These are the ones that straddle the line. But then there are tons of comedy horror movies of that are just comedy. You know, Dracula, Dead and Loving It. And and everything in that vein, you know, Young Frankenstein.
Right.
That's not horror. It's a comedy movie, you know? And I don't know. I really like this genre that straddles the genres because it's so hard to pull off.
Yeah.
I think. You really have to find the thing that works, and it's rare. And when it works, man, it just clicks so well. You guys going camping? And they're like, oh God. Yeah, anyway. So our boys are out in the lake. They're doing some night fishing, as you do. I assume this is a thing because I have heard of it. I have heard of people floating rivers at night. And these guys are out floating the lake at night. And as they're doing that, and, you know, tossing back some good old beers.
I love how... I mean, this isn't rated... This movie is rated R, right?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
Why didn't they show us some, you know...
Nice tits, bitch.
You know, like, why...
Why does it always have to be so violent with you?
I don't know. I'm trying to find the actual one I want.
Yeah, they didn't toss us...
Why wouldn't they...
Can I see one today? Oh, girl, just give me one today.
I just want to see one of your titties, girl.
There's a great one where they're like, let's go skinny dipping, but I'm not taking my clothes off. Like, what? What's skinny dipping then?
David, this is so awkward.
Yeah, it's a little awkward, but, you know, I mean...
I guess it's...
These actresses have standards.
Let's go skinny dipping with our clothes on.
Look...
I guess that sounds slightly better than, like, let's go swimming with our underwear on.
If you get something about the milk in the cow. Something cow milk. Yeah, so but our girl, Miss Bowden, she's up on a rock and kind of between the two groups of college kids who are whooping and hollering, having a good old time in their underwear, skinny dipping, and our boys Tucker and Dale, and Tucker's like, oh God, get a load of this, and Dale just can't help himself. He's just like, Tucker, don't look at her while she's taking her clothes off, and this upsets young Miss Bowden, and she screams and just flops into the water and hits her head. And the back and forth between Tucker and Dale in this movie is great. It's like, don't do that. Oh, you should stick up for yourself. Like, oh, I know. Like all this.
This is like a believable friendship of like the interchange between like, dude, I want to go see some tits, and it's like, come on, man, that's not ethical.
It's not cool. It's not ethical.
we shouldn't do that.
That's exactly how it is. That's exactly how it would go down.
Yeah.
Are you Tucker and I'm Dale, or am I Dale and you're Tucker? Wait.
Well, I'm the fat one, so I should be Dale, but I would definitely be Tucker in this circumstance.
Do you? I think. Yeah, I don't know. I think we both be Tucker.
I think we'd both be Tucker.
Shut up! Shut the fuck up!
You're gonna alert them.
Put your dick away. I don't want to see that while I'm seeing this.
Stop looking at my dick.
Don't look at. I can't help it. It's huge. It's everywhere. It's like God. It's transcendent light shooting from your crotch.
Uh-huh.
I like women. This coming from the guy who's like constantly like rallying for like more dick in movies. I'm like,
right,
more dick in movies, more dick in movies. There's nothing scarier than a big old dick showing up out of nowhere. To admit it, that's why girls hate Tinder.
Is there anything more homosexual than a straight white man?
No, nothing. Zero more homosexual than that. I think the Wild Boys proved that. So she falls, and they're good people, and totally not gay. So they go over there and help her get her out of the lake, and they say that the words that sets the whole delightful misunderstanding in motion, even more so, which is, "We've got your friend," and the kids are like, "They've got our friend!" Ah!
And they run away.
Yeah. No! Oh no! You know what friends would do.
Yeah.
And so the next scene is just her, Miss Bowden, waking up in Tucker's cabin with a bandage around her head and with just
with a snorting dog.
With the oddities of this weird cabin all around her in the light of day. This angry looking dog, and all alone. Which I mean, if you're a young lady, this is your worst nightmare.
Yeah. And Dale opens the door, and his silhouette is just shown as,
a large man.
A large hillbilly coming through this
scraggly,
door.
Unkempt man.
And she's like, ah!
He's like, oh my God.
I guess you don't like pancakes. I should have asked. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. It's great.
Yeah.
And he's just so lovable. Mm-hmm. And you're just like, oh, he loves her.
Yeah.
And, and he does. And so he heads back in, he makes her eggs and bacon, and they kick off their friendship, which is so cute.
It was a misunderstanding, and she understands that he's just a lovable guy that was
a big
looking
old
to
teddy
help
bear.
her.
Yeah. And and all the while, this is Tucker's house. So he's outside, doing the things that he needs to do to make his house, that he planned to do with his weekend at his new house,
right.
Fix it up. So he's outside getting rid of,
he's chainsawing some fallen trees.
Yeah.
And accidentally saws through a bee's nest.
Well, let's set it up a little bit more.
As he's being stalked on by these college kids trying to recapture their friend. And it's like perfect because his reaction to the bees, swarming him in the ensuing chaos is a carbon copy of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the end of Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
Where the Leatherface is just like swinging the saw around, and so he comes out from behind the house, like swinging the chainsaw like a maniac, trying to, ward off bees, and starts running through the woods, and the kids think he's chasing after them.
Oh man, I should have gotten the Wicca Wild Wild West bees. Bees, the Neil Cicerraga song. Yeah, maybe
we'll pull that up, or at least we'll share it in the afterpod.
I think it's called Bow Wow. Neil. Yeah. Anywho, I'll get it.
I love that. That's probably one of my favorite songs of his.
It's not Bow Wow. It's Wow Wow.
Wow Wow.
Wow Wow. Bees. Anywho, so Where are we going? Oh yeah. So as he's running through the woods with this chainsaw revved and these kids are escaping at high speed, this kid, you think he's going to like saw the kid by accident.
Well, he passes him.
Yeah.
Like
they share a knowing look.
Tucker like looks to his side and is like, "The fuck is this guy running? Like,
yeah.
Who is this?
He's running from bees too, but who is he and where did he come from?"
Right.
And then this kid just runs into a stob on a tree, just impales himself.
This is a new word for me. A stob.
Oh, yes, yeah. Tree stobs. So they're just broken branches. It's coming off, it's like a branch coming off of a tree. It's called a stob. It's short, stout branch.
Oh.
Yeah. There you go.
Why don't they just call it a branch?
Because it's a branch is a whole branch. This is a
So it's still attached to the tree, but broken.
Yeah, it's broken, or it's more than that. It's an impalement thing.
Okay.
Like you literally, this is something that
a stob stabs.
Yes, a stob does stab. You get something caught on a stob, something like that.
You got stobbed.
Actually, I wonder if this is an actual term or just something that my friends and I used in the Forest Service. Let's look it up. Stob. Holy shit! Yeah, a broken branch or stump. Old roots and stobs and crackling leaves. Yeah, this is a real word.
Wow.
Old broken branch, a broken branch or a stump. Stob.
Well, be damned.
Yep, there it is. So I've been using it right. Not shocking to me. Anywho, so this kid gets impaled. And so now the perceived kill count of Tucker and Dale to these college kids is 2. They've lost their buddy. They've lost Miss Bowden.
I don't think Tucker and Dale ever come across that first body.
No, I don't.
They get close to it, but they never actually see it.
Right. Yeah, so unbeknownst to everybody, this is just happenstance. This is just...
Which is great because they have no idea what's going on, and then the next ambush is where, like, all chaos breaks loose when the college kids are trying to, like, do a coordinated attack. And Tucker is chipping wood with a wood chipper, like chipping up branches and stuff. And Dale is digging a latrine hole with Allison.
Yeah.
And then they run up and probably...
The kids are like, he's making her dig her own grave.
Right.
But in reality, she's like, hey, I'm a farm girl. It was put up or shut up where I came from.
And this is one of
so she's willing to help her new friend.
Yeah, probably the most absurd moment that, like, wouldn't work unless you sold it up to this point was the guy running towards Tucker, and he literally just chucks himself into the wood chipper. Like, there's no setup or, like, explanation of, like...
it's just Tucker stepping aside and this kid, like, leaping at him.
Right.
And missing him.
Yeah.
Going right into the wood chipper.
Right.
And everybody's just always shocked. It's just like, oh no, oh God. And Tucker and Dale are having not a good day. There's a bunch of college kids I think they're in a suicide pact.
We're having dilly of a day over here.
I think they're in a suicide pact. Oh my God, that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that makes so much sense.
And the other one impales himself on a stick that he's gonna try to stab Dale with, and every attempt to try to harm Tucker and Dale ends with the death of a college kid. I also love the fact that throughout the movie they just call them the college kids.
These college kids.
Hey, college kid.
Hey, college kids.
Yeah.
College kids. And eventually, one of our college kids heads off early in the movie to go get the police, and that same policeman from the start of the movie shows up, and right as Tucker and Dale are dragging half of a corpse that had been in the wood chipper across their driveway.
Right. Also, some great dialogue there is like, he's pretty heavy for half a dude. It's pretty heavy for half a guy.
Dude, dead weight is dead weight. It's heavy.
Yeah.
You can't. It's unwieldy, especially when it's when it's still kind of warm, hasn't stiffened up yet.
Yeah.
It really helps for things to be, like a rock.
Right.
But when you're just dealing with a limp body, it's trust me, it's rough.
You don't have to tell me.
I know. Anyhow, it's all those college kids. So the police officer comes by and they're guys are like, I know it. I know this looks bad, but these kids are just killing themselves all over the place. Like
these college kids are killing themselves all over my property.
Yeah, and the cop ends up kind of like being like, okay, these guys are, he's a good cop, so he's willing to listen and understand the scenario. And he's reading it accurately, to be fair to him. Like, these guys didn't kill these people. Just a bunch of weird happenstance. So this cop is like, hey, this is the guy you want as a cop.
Right.
But he walks into their house, leans up against a pillar, and...
That's already been set up as unstable and dangerous.
And gets a big board of nails through the face. And has a big... So now they've just seemingly killed the cop, too. And it keeps escalating to this crazy place. All the while, I should mention, there are little breadcrumbs of, like, how crazy Chad is. Chad is bad. And he's also a Chad, so we hate him. He's your super stereotypical Chad. I kind of almost wonder if this is, like, where the term Chad came from, because it was 2010. I don't know. Chad
that's a pretty universal bro name.
Yeah, but now it's the bro name.
Yeah, I don't know.
Chad is rad. I don't know. Could be. Anyway, so Chad has a bee in his bonnet about this whole thing because
then it's a reveal. So they have, like, the last kind of confrontation as a group of college kids. They break into the cabin and find Allison there alone, and their plan was to, like, burn it down.
Yeah.
Or Chad's plan. And then Allison realizes, like, and it's set up that she was studying psychology and she, is all about solving miscommunication in the world and stuff. So she, like, gets them to sit down and just Chad and Dale to explain their point of view on what has happened so far, which is a great idea. This is one of those things where it's like, if everyone, it's like in the rom-com where it's like, if they just told each other what happened, then this would be not a problem. It's like, this situation is like, well, if they just sat down and talked and discussed their point of view, like, everyone would understand. And so it's that setup. And then Chad goes on just a complete tangent.
No.
Sorry.
No.
And
no.
Talks about his personal past, which includes his parents being almost massacred by hillbillies. And so obviously he has prejudice against hillbillies.
Yeah, he came here with baggage, which is not something you're supposed to do.
And before anything else can be revealed or talked about, like, what happens to, like, set it off? Something happens and Chad goes, like, insane and then starts a fire. And
yeah. I just keep being reminded of that Simpsons episode where it's in the future and Lisa has met her fiance who's English. And he's like, come with me to meet my family in England. There will be ever so many delightful misunderstandings. It's like, okay. Sorry, it's a deep cut for you.
That's a deep cut.
Anywho, yeah, so the end... I'll stick by my guns on this one. The end of this feels real hollow because I just don't care about their fight with Chad. I don't care about Chad being half hillbilly. It turns out they find this newspaper that, he was half hillbilly and he can't take that news.
I mean, it's kind of the setup. It's what they set up in the beginning. So it's like, it is, from a story standpoint, a satisfying ending. But in terms of, like, maintaining the pace of humor and and the tone of the movie, like
it shifts a little.
It shifts and
it loses a lot of steam.
Okay, so they're not going to do any more funny stuff anymore?
And the answer to that is right.
Right.
Yeah, no, we aren't.
So, I mean, I think the answer that they could have gone with was just go all in, have every single college kid off themselves in increasingly absurd ways, and end it with Chad. It would be great if it's like a Wile E. Coyote moment where it's like Chad has this huge elaborate plan that he's like turned into Rambo. And he's like, finally, they're going to walk into my trap, you know?
And then he looks down and he realizes he ran out a cliff 10 feet ago.
Right.
Yeah.
And then he holds up a little sign with Eep.
Yeah. Yahoo! Yeah. I get it.
Yeah.
Get where you're going with this. Instead, what we get is a weird sawmill ending that feels kind of tacked on and you don't care about. And, you know, in the end, Dale and Miss Allison, they get together and in a very unlikely pairing, but nevertheless, I mean, everybody can just hold out hope, you know?
Yeah. That's what Hollywood has communicated to me, is that a fat guy that's not particularly talented or like noteworthy can just bag the hottest girl in the world.
What does that have to do with you?
Nothing.
Then what are you talking about? Yeah, I don't know. Chad is half a hillbilly, and it was his dad who owned their cabin to begin with and committed all the brutal slayings up at the end.
The end.
And, yeah, final recommendations. I'd say any old person would have a good time at this as long as they can stomach some pretty intense violence. Or at least graphic thoughts.
Yeah. I mean, even any adult can handle this.
There's a fella being tossed into a wood chipper.
I would say, yeah.
There's a lot of
if you've listened to this review and you haven't seen it, like, well, now there's no point. It won't be as enjoyable. I don't know, but I guess after I watched it, after I've seen it again, like, the comedy timing holds up. Like, I still get, and I think I might be a little different because of that. I think some people just don't appreciate, comedy the second time around a lot of the time.
It's hard.
Like, I know the joke now. It's not funny. But I appreciate the process or the execution of the joke, whether I know what's coming or not. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think
I'm made different.
You're made different. Uh-huh. Well, yeah, I mean, you are. That is different than the way I experience it. Especially like with this kind of physical comedy.
Yeah,
like when it's physical comedy and there's already been. I've seen the payout. Like, it's much harder to appreciate the sentiment, right? For me, like, which is, you appreciate the structure, but for me, the structure's blown out now.
I mean, I guess that is different, because, like, I could watch Ace Ventura 2 and see Jim Carrey come out of that rhinoceros.
No, I could too.
Over and over again. It will never not be funny. But that's just because of his performance.
To be fair, though, this is like a world-class number one.
Right.
That, like, I'm not being hyperbolic at all when I say
that scene in particular.
That's one of the best comedy scenes of any movie that's ever been made. Have you gone to see the new Jackass movie yet?
Not yet.
Oh, we got to go see it. I'll go see it a second time.
Yeah.
It was so much fun.
Yeah, maybe I'll see that this weekend. I still got to watch The Batman, too.
I haven't seen that one either. And I haven't seen the Spider-Man one either.
Yeah.
This is just how I do. I'm just like, nah. Yeah. I'm not going to see all that.
Have you seen any of the Andrew Garfield ones? Yeah.
No.
First one's good.
Okay. Yeah, sure. This one wasn't. Everybody says this new Spider-Man is like
great.
God's gift.
It was great. Like, I'm pretty cynical now when it comes to. I mean, I've gotten pretty cynical from overexposure to superhero movies at this point, where it's like, okay,
that's why you're cynical.
It's like, okay, like, I get it. They're gonna combine like the franchises and stuff. Like, even knowing what was coming, witnessing this overlap of all three, like, versions of the Spider-Man franchise was still somehow emotionally overwhelming for me.
Should I see the first two to see this one? I didn't even know that there were three.
Oh, you mean for the new... Well, okay, so there's the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, there were three. Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3.
Right. Yeah, obviously.
There was the Andrew Garfield 2, which was The Amazing Spider-Man and The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Didn't see either of those.
And then there's the new ones with Tom Holland, which is just the weirdest title choices, which was Spider-Man Homecoming, Spider-Man Far From Home, and this one is Spider-Man
Into the Spider-Verse? No.
Oh, it has home in it somewhere.
Well, that has to do with the comics.
Back at Home.
These titles are comic titles.
Really?
Yeah, they're series.
Anyways, so like, and this last one combines all three Spider-Verses, you know.
Oh shit, really?
So it's like, so the villains from the
all three Spider-Men are pointing at each other?
There's a picture of that.
Oh wow.
Which is great. But yeah, I mean, it was obvious from the trailers that, you know, we're going to have Doc Ock. So we're going to have Alfred Molina reprise Doc Ock.
From the original?
From the original.
Whoa!
Wow, you didn't even see the trailers even then.
No, I'm telling you, I live in a vacuum.
And
a movie vacuum.
And Willem Dafoe, well, I'm pretty sure like you knew that it showed that Willem Dafoe was coming back.
No,
so it's
I didn't.
The classic, like, those were the two villains that people cared about. In all of those movies, like, it's even hard to remember which villains were in the other movies because those two were so good.
Right.
And so they spoiled that there was going to be these other villains and that, like, Tom Holland's Spider-Man, like, fucked up the interdimensional, you know, whatever. But it was kind of the Hollywood's worst kept secret that all three Spider-Mans were going to be in it too. Mm-hmm. And when that's revealed in the movie, even though it's obvious that that's going to happen.
Well, you're breaking it all up for me now. Now I'm upset. Oh.
And yeah, but seeing them all together, and if you understand the stories,
subtle nuance,
the stories of the three movies or the three franchises, like, it's done so well. I haven't been that impressed since Avengers Endgame in terms of, like, it's almost most impressive from a business aspect of, like, wow, whoever drew up these contracts and talked with all these agents and all these, like, IP properties is, like, that
God
must
among
have been
men.
Insane.
Yeah, come talk to me about what it's like having to, like, herd cats.
Right.
Anyway, well, yeah.
Speaking of Shudder.
Yeah, no. No, not even. Anyway, well, yeah. See Tucker and Dale. It's on pretty much. You can rent it on anything right now. I don't think it. Oh, it's playing for free on a bunch of the.
Yeah, I watched it on Tubi,
and all those
the things. I think it's on Vudu.
I think it's free on Redbox too. Redbox is no longer a box so much as it is a streaming platform.
Yeah, so. It's still out there.
And now I feel so seen because now everybody knows about
your dick?
My love of pretty thick.
It's pretty thick.
I don't think it's a secret.
Booties.
I don't think you've ever held that too close to the vest.
No.
It's pretty thick.
Is it close to the vest or close to the chest? I've heard it both ways.
Well, for me, it'd be close to the chest.
I guess if you wear a vest,
just squat over my chest, baby.
Wow. Wow.
It rhymes.
That's even more revealing.
Okay. Yeah, well, you know.
Didn't know now it makes a whole lot of sense. Like your love of drain addict. Your love of ass is like, I think there's significant
it's
crossover
weird.
sexually.
I'm not a big fan of poop. I got to tell you, don't like it.
Huge into scat play.
Don't like it. No, I'm going to be honest with you. I know it's a weird thing. You know, I know that makes me weird to not to not be into poop.
I think everyone just doesn't understand why you wouldn't want a woman shitting on your chest.
Okay.
That's a great, like, historic Reddit post of, like, people of Reddit, what's a fetish that you had that was ruined once you actually experienced it? And someone vividly describing just being so into scat porn and being like, yeah, just, and paying, you know, some, like, preeminent scat goddess to come shit on his chest. He was like, yeah, it's going to be so hot. And then experiencing someone taking hot shit on you and just being like, in an instant knowing, like, no, I'm not into this.
Well, you know what? Now we're going to talk about our new sponsors.
We want to welcome Coke Zero as a sponsor.
Coke Zero, new sponsor. Real
American Family Insurance, we welcome you.
Real proud to have them.
You're welcome to take a hot shit on my chest anytime. Oh my God.
If you have been listening to the show, you know that we had a Spotify deal that was pending for a long time. Well, it was pending for a long time.
It was taking too long.
Long time. But you know what happened? Bryce knows what happened a little bit better than I do, but I'm gonna riff it a little bit here. We got approached in the meantime by iHeartRadio. iHeartMedia, and they just swooped in like saving graces, you know, like big angelic seraphim angels made of, not of shit, but of seraphim.
Of ass.
Of the stuff that shit comes from. And they were like, hey, you wanna, you know, come be on our platform? And we were like, yeah, I don't know. Like, you know, I mean, Spotify's ready to, you know, they accept us for who we are and all the weird, horrible things that we have to say and do and think about. And they were like, fuck that. We love you more. And so, and, you know, and we can help you monetize your podcast and all your episodes of your podcast. And so they just greenlit it. They were just like, green light, go.
Yeah. So, I mean, they offered us to be on their platform. It's a mutually beneficial arrangement because they can use our impressions to sell advertisement and we get a decent portion of that. And then what's even greater for us, because almost all of the ads that we have run are from our footwork,
right?
Know, from like hoofing it and trying to
finding wheel and channels, finding Shutter, yeah,
right. Which we're not salespeople. It's not what we do, and it's more of like when we get a bee in our bonnet to approach someone. And it's a lot of work, and it's hard to maintain those relationships. So to have like an automated, like just some force out in the world is going to find advertisers to insert.
And they were like, yeah, we'll do it for you. Like, we got you.
Yeah.
And
so essentially it's free money for us. Unfortunately for listeners, like there's going to be a bit more advertisements, and all the people that are going to complain about that, I would urge to press the skip 15 seconds that's on every single podcast platform available in the universe.
No, fuck that. I would urge them to support us differently because this is a free podcast, and we've been doing it for free for a long time.
Or join Patreon, and you never have to listen to an ad again.
Right.
But that, and then also even better is that for those advertisers that we approach, it's a much easier conversation to have because we can insert the ad into all of our previous episodes as well.
Right.
So, I mean, that's the other thing. You're going to hear ads on previous episodes as well, and they're going to be rotating, and some of those are going to be ones that we set up because, hey, we put a lot of work into this, and and we deserve a little bit of compensation. And honestly, it's a little bit compared to the amount of effort we put into it.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, if anyone hates ads, I apologize, but this is a thing we're doing.
I don't. We've put a lot of hours into this.
Yeah.
A lot of work, a lot of our blood, sweat, and cum, and mostly cum. And, you know.
Yeah, you just feel... You put on a podcast for 4 years and feel bad about asking for money. We'll be over here, begging for it because I'm shameless. I'm ready to receive money.
I have lots of shame, but I'm still ready to receive money.
I would love to retire from my current employment so I could just do podcasting full time.
Do you ever think about like doing what Josh Potter did and just getting one of those getting on one of those platforms where people pay you to like shave your back or something like that? And,
OnlyFans?
Yeah, just become a total slut. You want to do that? Would you do that?
Would I do that?
Yeah.
No.
You wouldn't?
No.
Oh man, I do that in a heartbeat.
Then do it.
I kind of want to. I just don't think that there's a market for it.
There's probably a small handful of fans of horror movie talk that would pay you a couple bucks to do some demeaning shit.
Does it have to be demeaning, you suppose?
Yep.
Oh. Wow, what?
Well, you're a man. No one's going to pay to just see your dick. I don't know. Maybe.
No one's.
I don't know.
Let me tell you. Knowing what I know about my dick, and I know a lot about it, no one's paying for it.
No one would pay twice, I guess. That's what I'd say.
It's a real tough market because there are no returning customers. There is nobody happy with that at all. Zilch. Yeah, trust me, I'm not happy about it either. It's just what God gave me.
Yeah, I have way too much shame about myself to
maybe we can monetize
to sell
that
myself.
shame. Maybe that's...
Remember how we had that conversation of like, how much money would it take for you to like eat a piece of shit or something? I can't remember what
it's like
it was.
$5,000. Like the goal is to go as low as you can with these thought exercises.
And I was truthful, and I'd be like, it'd have to be over like $100,000 at least
to eat like a single nugget of shit. That's like an inch in circumference and diameter.
Yeah.
And you couldn't do that for under 6 figures,
right?
Once.
I'd still feel bad about it at that figure. I'd be like, that's still demeaning to me.
Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah.
But what?
To feel good about it, it'd be like
the goal isn't to feel good about it at all.
Right.
No, the goal is what?
Why would
the way you set this up in your head is so insane because it's like it's not attached to the reality of the game. You're thinking, I want to have to feel good about it. No, bitch. No, you're a bitch in this. This is the setup is you're a bitch. You're going to eat the shit. What's the minimum amount of money, bitch, to eat the shit? Like, that's you don't have to feel good about it.
Yeah, but I'm not a bitch.
That's the game.
I mean, no. The honest answer would be like, yeah, I would probably get over my discomfort and my aversion and my self-respect at 6 figures. And even then, I'd feel pretty bad about it. I would eat it and then immediately regret it and be like, I should have asked for 500,000. Like, what an idiot.
I just don't think you understand how it works. Like, I think you like miss the premise of the game.
No, I understand the premise is what would it take to get you to eat a piece of shit? Right?
But then you do this weird mental gymnastics, extra gymnastics in your head of like, I have to feel good about it. And it's like, no, not to feel good about it. Like the idea is, how bad do you want the money? It's not how good do you want to feel. You can feel like terrible shit. Like you just ate a piece of shit.
Exactly. That's how much I want the money. Is like, you'd have to pay me that much.
I want the money
get me to do it.
So much more than you? But, like, you're like,
which is so weird because I'm so complacent with like
so basic of you. I just thought you were so much more impressive. So basic. I'm serious. It so weirds me out because everywhere else you're like, just like, yeah, give it to me. Like, you know, but like, I won't eat a piece of shit for $5,000. Like, I eat 2 pieces of shit for $5,000. I'll throw you a freebie if you like.
You know, 1 piece of shit for $5,000, 2 pieces of shit for 5,500, 4 pieces of shit for 7,000.
That's right. Well, that doesn't make any sense at all. That's not that's not how cost escalation works.
I can't believe that you would talk about that. That's not how the game works.
So before we get, at each other's throats about what's going down each other's throats, let's get into nice reviews for the podcast. Occasionally, you guys are kind enough to drop a review, and that helps us out a whole lot. That helps the algorithms that pop us up in front of people's faces, gets us more fans, gets us more ad revenue, more people who want us to eat shit. And so sometimes I like to take a little moment and just read your reviews out loud and say thank you for dropping them on us. So here's the last 3, because things have slowed down in that department recently, but we do have 3, and I'm very grateful for them. Our first one is from Tori N, and she or he, I'm not sure. Tori's a girl's name, right?
I think they might have said specifically that they were.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's get into it. The title is The Best Show for... that's the other thing. We have to misgender these people. The Best Show for Professional Sex
Well, he misspelled my name, so we can misgender him.
Bruce Hansen. She says, I'm so insanely grateful for this podcast. Bryce Hansen and David Day are 2 of the funniest humans I have ever listened to. Wow. You need to listen to some funnier people than us. Their insights are so fantastic and spot on. Even when they disagree, both of their opinions have validity. I listen to this show, like when Bryce says he won't eat shit for less than 6 figures. Mm-hmm. I listen to this show at work and spend the majority of my time stifling my laughs. You make the dredge of my day significantly better every day. Thank you both. I'm planning on becoming a patron very soon because I need me some of that afterpod action. Love you guys. Thank you for the time and energy you both put into this incredible show. P.S. I am a male. So there it is.
There you
I'm
go.
sorry, Tori. I didn't even...
Preemptive. Knew that you're going to fuck it up.
Post-emptive. He put it at the end.
And then another one from Brian Flo, 67. Said, started listening to you guys this past weekend. Instantly fell in love with the PC. In love with the podcast. Oh, okay. Well, I've never seen that abbreviation before. With the podcast. Within 2 days, I became a Patreon supporter. Keep up the amazing work. Yep. Thank you so much, Brian. And I think both of these guys did become Patreon supporters.
It could be. We should probably pull up the Patreon page too while I read this last one from Britain. This one is titled Brilliant Fun. And it's from Kick-Ass Bear. I was a little late in discovering the podcast, so I have lots of older episodes to listen to. It's such fun, and I'm eager to listen when I see a new one drop. An absolute blast. Thanks, guys. Thank you, all of you guys. Anybody who's going to take time out of their day and write some nice words about us, I really just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. You've made our days, and we're happy that we can help you make yours. Because, we need to be there for each other. And this has been proven to be a nice way to do that.
All right. Well, at least Brian was a Patreon.
There you go.
He was honest.
Tori's on his way.
Tori's on his way. He's thinking about it.
Fucking minute. Maybe he's trying to save up for one of those fucking massive tiers, like the $666 tier.
How about we start a new tier? $6,000, and you get to take a shit on my chest.
I'm all for that tier, of course. Yeah.
Right. That's the perk, is you get to shit on my chest. Bare chest.
Okay, well, you have to take into consideration that the Horror Movie Talk founding members get all...
Oh, shit. So that means like 8 shits on my chest.
Well, if they take you up on it, might not be their thing. Would you allow that? Not the barring the existing members.
I would say at 6,000 if I get to keep all the money.
Specifically,
yeah, that doesn't go to the podcast.
Well, then no, that's not a tier. You have to.
Okay, well then 12,000.
Okay, yeah, no, that's reasonable.
Yeah,
my 6,000 of that would, of course,
be to spend on taking a shit on my chest.
Right. I just go back into the pod. Back into the pod. We're reinvesting. Woo!
And there's the blockage.
Oh, like a big sausage.
It is. It's like a big sausage of shit.
Bazinga. Okay, another episode in the bag for you guys. Thanks to all of our patrons, but specifically these patrons.
Yeah, so Brian F., Brandon C., Joe... No, wait. Are these all the most recent ones? Yeah. Joe B., Victoria P., Demi M. I think we've gotten to the people that we've thanked before.
Thank you guys for supporting the show. Thank everyone for listening to the show. We love you. We appreciate you. And thanks for, hanging around and, shooting the shit with us. Very specifically the shit.
Mm-hmm. Do you have to be so vulgar?
You guys have a great week. We love you.
Looking for a podcast full of burps and gas, perverted cast, skinny and fat? Look no further. Horror Movie Talk is accidentally funny, begs to donate money, fake sponsors for dummies, and so much more. New episodes every hump day. They'll pickle your dickle for foreplay. Patreon members have it your way. Vote for a movie every month for the review. Chompa chompa, don't just stare at it, eat it like a taco. Put your tongue through the phone, hoodie, Picasso. Look at them hot kids, swear not a pedo. Got me too'd with Cosby eating jello. Pudding Pops done gave Bryce flatulence. Drain addict Dave doesn't give a shit. 1 through 10, is it horrible or excellent? Oil me up, daddy, is dinner Robinson. Kiss Bryce Hansen. Look at them hot kids, Chris Henson. Masturbate with a crucifix, exorcist. Face huggers, chest bursters, alien. Linda Blair peed on Sigourney Weaver. I know it's true cause it came from social media. Patrick Bateman can't understand you. Stab you to death for rotten apple reviews. Opinionated podcaster with a doctorate. Spookology, doctor of philosophy. Bad gastritis, need colostomy. Turn Patreons into human centipedes. David Doobie Day, scare him, no expert. And Goble fucks hard, professional sexpert. Afterpods, taglines, and porno flicks. American Psycho, them guys pretty sick. Chompa chompa, don't just stare at it, eat it like a taco. Put your tongue through the phone, hoodie, Picasso. Look at them hot kids, swear not a pedo. Got me too'd with Cosby eating jello. Pudding Pops done gave Bryce flatulence. Drain addict Dave doesn't give a shit. 1 through 10, is it horrible or excellent? Oil me up, daddy, is dinner Robinson. Nothing good happens in the woods. Always get more than you bargain for. Got a pickle to dickle, machines tickle bitties. Killer on the phone, ain't no Sharon Stone. Vancouver, Portland, Oregon, and organs. Corona, COVID, curse, Lorona. Green River Killer, because reasons. Hallway of poop monster kids screaming. Ain't your ordinary dingleberry itinerary. 30-day shutter and jump scares, they fucking scary. Time for the spoilers with jokes and tropes. Use their white socks to catch their loads. Just show them one titty, pretty. Paganism you should worship, they Teflon dicks. Pacific Northwest, let them see one breast. Shifty eyes stay spooky, poor man's digress. Bugsy. HMT, horror movie talk. Hold on, they don't like Halloween. Fuck them.
The intro music.
Okay. Shut up!
I'm gonna put this on the end of the podcast, just like muffled wailing in the background.
Yeah.
This is what we need to reduce the noise for.
Sure. Horror movie.